All right, what's going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk about some of the lessons that I've learned going through launch school and some of the things that I think will be most helpful to you guys as you think about going through launch school. I have some lessons here written down or typed up that I'm going to have in the description that you can read through briefly if you don't have time for this video. Pretty short, there's not going to be any timestamps or anything, but I'm just going to go through the 3 biggest lessons and how you can apply them immediately to make this have less friction on your journey through launch school. So the first one is setting realistic expectations and timeframes for your travels through the curriculum. So basically what this entails is the first thing you're going to want to do is start going over all the articles and podcasts that people in launch school have written, documenting their journey through the curriculum and starting to think about how that applies to your life. And I talk about this in the, again, article that I have or this mini article in the description. But the main thing is you want to find people that are in your same set of life circumstances and start to compare how they went through the curriculum in terms of their average number of hours studied per week, how they fit it around their work schedule, and what else they had to do while they were going through the curriculum. And so the main thing that you want to understand about that going through the curriculum basically is that someone who's doing this full-time is going to have a very different experience from someone that's doing it part-time. The next thing you're going to want to do is when looking at these write-ups, you're going to want to compare them to a bunch of the different articles that have been published on how long will it take to go through the curriculum. One of the nice things is that each student gives a little introduction for their background and what they were doing while they were going through the curriculum, and then talks about the percentage of time that it took them to go through the curriculum, as well as a breakdown of the amount of hours. You can see right here, great example, shows you breakdown in terms of percentage and hours that the students are taking to get through the curriculum. Now, again, I want to keep emphasizing this, that you have to look for people who are in your set of life circumstances. Don't compare someone's average hours per week and time through the curriculum that's doing it 30, 40, 50, 60 hours a week going full time, to try to get their first internship and then break into a FANG company the next year, to someone who's just doing this as a hobbyist or doing it part-time because they want to have the option to be able to switch careers, like myself. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, how you can, make sure that you're giving yourself realistic comparisons in the next section. But that's the first thing, is just start to set realistic timeframes for how you're going to make it through the course. Now, the next thing is you need to have some faith in these estimates that other students have put out. When I first started going through the course, I would look at some of the timeframes for the longer courses, 3, 4, 5, with some layoffs in between 6 months for just subsections of the course. And I would think, this seems impossible. How could it take anyone this long to get through these sections just based on the amount of reading and the material that there was outlined for the section? What I soon found is that when I got into the course, not only did some of these sections take me as long as I had expected, some of them took me quite a bit longer. So basically, I was going from assuming I would get through more quickly to being at certain sections of the course and feeling like I was taking too long to get through the course. And the thing that I realized after going through is that when you look at the estimates that other students put out, again, students in similar circumstances to yourself, and then you look back on how long it took you to get through different sections of the course, what you'll notice is these estimates students put out are surprisingly accurate. They're very close. When I look back, it took me about how long students in my circumstance said it was going to take based on the amount of time they were studying. So again, at different points, I felt like I was taking too long. I wasn't. I was taking about the right amount of time. At other times, I thought I was going to get through something very quicker than the estimates told me. I didn't. It usually took me about as long as the estimates. So all this is just a long way of saying that you need to have faith in these estimates other students have put out and understand that you're likely going to have a similar experience. Of course, there will be outliers, but for most people, you should have a lot of faith in those time estimates and plan your time accordingly. And the third thing, again, I just want to reiterate, you can't compare yourself to students in different life circumstances. If you're going through part-time, don't compare yourself to the guy or gal that's doing 50 hours a week, trying to make it to a top company in the next year by, getting through this quickly, getting through capstone quickly, getting their first internship, getting their next job, getting their promotion. That's not the same as someone who's doing this as a career switcher, part-time, on top of a demanding job, someone that has a bunch of kids they're taking care of and they're working while they're doing this and maybe just wants to learn to break into coding or software engineering. Make sure that as you're going through and reading these Medium articles and listening to these podcast articles, you're comparing yourself to other people that are in a similar set of life circumstances. So that's what I would say. If you haven't done any of this research into other people's experience in the course, start out with the Medium articles, start out with the podcast, look for some of the students who have their own blogs where they've done additional write-ups on their experience through the course. Start to map out your journey, start to think about when you're going to need to take breaks, if at all, if you're going to have vacations or travel that's going to interrupt your schedule. And really the number you want to get a handle on is over over the period of time where you think you're going to make it through the curriculum, what do you realistically think your average hours studied per week, meaning in complete isolated study where you're just doing that and working on nothing else? What do you think the average hours per week is going to be? And over what period of time can you carry that out consistently? That's the most important thing you need to decide for yourself. And then once you've done all that, just check back and make sure that these assessments you've done for your time and what other students' time, how long it's taken them, make sure that you're making those realistic apples to apples comparisons for people in similar life circumstances. So that's what I have for you guys. This will really help you to plan your time. You can get surprisingly accurate estimates just because the amazing write-ups that students have done and the course has done on these topics. You can really start to plan very accurately if you just use some of these resources. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button, comment below, letting me know what else you'd like to see on Launch School or otherwise. If you didn't like this, you can let me know in the comments as well. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so that you're notified anytime that I come out with a video just like this. And as always, thank you guys for watching.